Howdy, folks. Welcome back to Draft and Drive. My name is Josh. I'm here with my sister Alexia. We are siblings who are NASCAR enthusiasts, and today we are here to talk about EchoPark Speedway. O'Reilly and Cup. Let's start with O'Reilly. We had Sam Mayer on pole, qualified on pole. And the first incident of the day did not take very long to occur. It was Ryan Sieg and Corey Day getting together, and Ryan Sieg wound up done for the day. Jesse Love wins stage number 1. Rajah Caruth wins stage number 2. And then on the final lap, Austin Hill takes the lead from Ross Chastain. Ross winds up getting a run. Austin Hill blocks. He ends up wrecked. And then Sheldon Creed finally gets his first career victory after, I believe, 15 second place finishes. Comment?
I just want to say, so far I am 2 for 2 on my predictions this year because I predicted that AM Racing was going to pick up Nick Sanchez, who is still missing a ride, and I predicted that Sheldon Creed was going to get his first victory this year, first O'Reilly victory. He has truck victories, but has first O'Reilly victory this year, so I am 2 for 2. Just want to put that out there. But yeah, good for Sheldon Creed. I mean, literally, always the bridesmaid, finally became the bride. He got his victory. Good for him. Did you see Sam Mayer went to congratulate him, and then when he was heading back to pit road, drove through the grass and went airborne?
I did see that, yes. Very funny. And yeah, I mean, Sheldon Creed, he talked about it in his interview. He's like, hopefully this revives my career, because obviously he seemed to think that his career was just going down, 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 down. He said, hopefully this revives my career, and we'll see if it does. If he can, start busting them off now that he got the first one out the way.
Yeah. Well, good for, Haas, but also good for Sheldon Creed. But now Haas, thinking they're taking 2 nearly perfect cars home, they will have to rebuild one of them. Yes. But hey, I'm sure they'll take that money from the win that Sheldon Creed got to rebuild Sam Mayer's car.
Yeah. Let's see.
You got it.
I was actually going to ask you about the Lap 5 incident. Ryan Sieg versus Corey Day. Do you think Corey Day's aggression was too early, considering it was Lap 5? Ryan Sieg was very critical of him after that one incident, and also said that Corey Day wrecked like 4 times at Daytona. So obviously he was not happy with him. Was it too early to be as aggressive as Corey Day was?
So, I mean, looking in hindsight, yeah. And I mean, Corey Day right now is known as like the wrecking ball on the track. He seems to be causing the majority of the cautions, and not only, by the way, did he take out Ryan Sieg, but he also took out his brother Kyle Sieg, so both Sieg cars were done for the day. So now, there's no one to root for in that team, but yeah, in hindsight, obviously maybe he would have wanted to be a little bit more patient, but at the same time, he's a rookie, and, rookies don't have the patience, and they gotta learn somehow. Obviously, does he have a bad reputation right now? Yeah. Maybe go into COTA and take it a little bit more easy and show that if you're driving next to someone, that you're not, the other driver doesn't need to be feared driving next to you, maybe next week and hopefully the next couple weeks after that. But yeah, needs to build his reputation up a little bit and take it easy. Just have a easygoing race. I feel like that would be good for Corey Day.
Yeah, I agree. I think, so I would say, is a little untrustworthy at super speedways, and there's no practice. So the guy's just hopping in the race car after one qualifying lap, and hey, good luck. So obviously practice would probably help the kid, but I think, last year we saw on the, intermediates or really anything else was not horrible, was not like a crazy weapon, maybe got into a little bit, but still he was before a rookie, was just running a couple of races, so he's just getting used to it. So I think obviously needs to practice on the drafting tracks, but besides that, I think take it easy, like you said, and I think he'll be fine. Yeah. We'll see about that. But I wanted to say that my good surprise for the race was Rajah Caruth. Hops in a fast race car, ran up front all day, had multiple pretty cool saves, inches off the wall, was, tail sliding crazy, and he wound up with a good finish. My bad surprise, Harrison Burton. Because I think I at least expected him to be a little bit more upfront, transitioning from AM Racing to Sam Hunt Racing. And I mean, this is kind of a combo with Daytona and Atlanta. Hasn't really been seen much. The only time I saw him during Atlanta was when he crashed. So I expect that to change at COTA because I believe he was pretty good at the road courses last year. At least was AM Racing was trying some different strategies. So I expect to see him closer to the front at COTA, where I think things will even out a little bit more.
So for my good surprise, I kind of had 3, and I really couldn't pick who I decided I wanted to pick, so I'm giving you all 3. So 1, Sam Mayer. What a comeback. Coming back from laps down to drive all the way back up. I know he got a couple lucky dogs or whatnot, or maybe one lucky dog and then got his other laps back, and then drove his way up through the field. So that's 1. Parker Resloff and Nick Sanchez. What great finishes for those drivers trying to prove themselves, and especially Nick Sanchez, who lost his ride and at the last minute got that ride with AM Racing. And this is a sign to AM Racing, hey, we picked the right guy. So those are my good surprises. My bad surprise is easy. I picked Corey Day. He's in Hendrick Equipment. He's wrecking everything around him. Now again, we just talked about it, but get it together. You're in top equipment. Again, he needs to go to COTA. And the next couple races after that, stay out of everyone's way and just run his own race. Just complete all the laps and don't hit any cars. Again, he is easy to pick, but at the same time, he's running in top equipment. He should be near... he's a rookie, but he should be near the front and then racing pretty clean.
To be fair, he did finish like 4th. So you can't say it was all for nothing for him. It just sucked for everybody else on the racetrack.
Yeah.
Alright, my race pick I picked for Atlanta for the O'Reilly Series was Austin Hill, and he wound up 12th place. I picked the easy one, and it bit me. Of course, the one I pick him on, besides last week, guy loses. And you picked what, Jesse Love?
Yeah, I picked Jesse Love. He got 5th place. Kind of surprised that RCR didn't get the win last week, whether it was Austin Hill or Jesse Love, but he got 5th place. So I guess I picked first this week.
So you get to pick first.
Oh, alright, so I'm gonna go... Oh, and O'Reilly, I'm going Sam Mayer.
Oh my god, I knew you were gonna pick him.
He's good on the road courses. And yes, I think that he is... Zilich is gone. Who's now going to be the top road course guy? So I'm going Sam Mayer. I think he'll want to follow Sheldon Creed and get a win early this year for Haas. I think Haas is going to go back-to-back. And Sam Mayer's going to get the win at COTA.
Was my number 1 pick. But I guess instead, I'll go Justin Allgaier. He's always been very consistent. Now you've got no Connor Zilich. You've got no more SVG. Praying he doesn't make an appearance. I don't know if there's any Cup drivers in the field, but I don't really care. I'm going Xfinity regular. The Xfinity mainstay, Justin Allgaier, will win at COTA. And now I'm ready to move on to Cup, unless you got something else.
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Let us see. So... qualifying got canceled, so Tyler Reddick sat on the pole from his Daytona 500 victory the week before. Early on, Carson Osfar gets in the wall, has a tire go down, pits under green, loses 2 laps, and then, spoiler alert, he gets him back. Very good for him. First stage goes caution-free. Austin Cindric starts 30th, climbs his way up. Stage 1 victory. We love to see it in the 2 corner over here. During stage number 2, Ty Gibbs, Josh Berry, both converge, trying to fight for the same spot. Both of them wind up as good as done, out of contention. Next up, we got Riley Herbst, comes up into Austin Dillon, and then both Riley Herbst and Stenhouse are pretty much out of contention. Later on, Kyle Busch tries to merge up in the top lane. He's there, but then he gets a bump from behind from Noah Gragson. You can argue whether that was clean or not. He gets loose, loses it, smacks the inside wall. He's done for the day. And then end of stage 2, Kyle Larson makes a strange block on SVG. And Kyle Larson winds up done for the day. Bubba Wallace will win stage 2. And now there's a heck of a lot of stuff that happens here in stage number 3. Joe Logano. Oh yeah, buckle up. Joey Logano gets tight, comes up into Denny Hamlin. Zilich, Bowman, both out of contention for the day. And that was set up because of like a couple laps beforehand, Ryan Blaney put a late block on Reddick, checked that whole top lane up, spit both Reddick and Hamlin back towards the middle of the pack. That's the Logano is not done causing chaos though, because then he and Hosifar get into it. They try to merge in the same spot, which has happened several times throughout the race. Logano winds up spinning. He's fine. No big deal. Then Cindric and Byron get into it. I think Cindric comes up. A lot of people are saying Byron kind of comes down on into him. You can argue about that. Either way, Byron later, he says he didn't blow a tire. Looked like the guy blew a tire. Either way, something happened. He winds up crashing, involving Austin Dillon and Nemechek, who are both done, out of contention. Then we get our first green-white checker. Hocevar sees a hole, and by golly, did he try to seize it, and squeezes in between Bell and Bubba Wallace. Bell winds up, shoop, doop, boom, right into the wall. He's done for the day. Second attempt at the green-white checker, the money one. Bubba Wallace gets pushed out too far, and then makes a strange block to the third lane. Carson Hocevar cuts in the middle, spits Bubba Wallace out, ending his chances for the win. Tyler Reddick pulls away, and then Chase Briscoe and Ross Chastain decide, I actually don't want to win this race. No competition. Tyler Reddick steals it easily. Lexia, tell me, who's your good surprise for the day?
Good surprise for Cup, I'm going to go SVG. I'll be honest, I didn't have SVG as someone that was going to be up there on restrictor plates, but specifically the Atlanta race. He drove through the field multiple times, spun, drove through the field, spun, drove through the field, and then got a top 10 finish, I believe, even after spinning twice. So he is my good surprise of the day. You want me to do my bad surprise?
Go for it.
Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson looked like he had a super fast car and made a goofy move that was actually one of the wrecks that was involved with SVG, but took himself out. This is a veteran, and this is someone that's won 2 championships, and usually him and his spotter on the same page, listening to their audio, didn't sound like it. He's my bad surprise.
For Larson, it's just like, a week ago I was saying, this guy, he's actually good at super speedways now. He's got stage wins. I think he probably had the fastest car at Atlanta, and then just silly mistake, and just like that, you're done. My good surprise was Noah Gragson. And because he was involved in the crash with William Byron, he rebounded for 14th. Quiet day. But for Noah Gragson, for front row, and for being involved in a pretty, I would say, significant crash with William Byron, I'd say it was a pretty good day. Good perseverance, especially new points for format. You need to reward consistency. My bad surprise was Michael McDowell, because where was that guy the entire day? Zane Smith was up front. Carson Hocevar was everywhere on the racetrack, literally. Where was Michael McDowell? Where was the 71 car? The only time he had screen time, once again, like in the O'Reilly series I was talking about, was when he crashed. Same with Harrison Burton. It was during the Logano and Hamlin crash. I don't know, maybe I'm starting to change my opinion now of whether or not it was front row that was just carrying McDowell's super speedway prowess. Because remember, he knocked off all those poles early on a couple years ago. Hasn't done a ton since. And I don't know, man. I'm just starting to lose faith in old McDowell.
Well, I also believe both Spire cars besides him got a top 10 yesterday. Suarez got, 5th place, and then Hocevar finished right up there. So he's the only one that didn't get a top 10 yesterday, and like you said, he was pretty much non-existent throughout the race, and when you're at a drafting track, you expect McDowell to be a factor, and certainly wasn't.
Yeah, was not a factor once throughout the day. My race pick for Atlanta in the Cup Series, Joe Logano. Guy sucked most of the day. He was up front leading. Of course, can't finish it out. Who'd you have?
I had Carson Hocevar, P4. Decent day for Hocevar. I thought he was going to win, but he was close. Another close race for Hocevar. So now I pick for next week first.
Yeah, but before you do that, compare 36 for 36s. I had Daniel Suarez, who finished 4th place. Didn't you also
I had
have the
Suarez
same
as
one?
well. Yep.
Okay. Well, tie goes to the winner. All right. So, next pick for COTA. You get to pick first.
I have 2 written down. I'm 50-50 on them because I didn't know who was going to pick first. All right. I'll go the easy way out. I'm going to go SVG. I mean, do you really pick against them if you have first pick? SVG.
Respectable pick. And so I had some stats I wanted to pull out for my race picks.
Oh, here we
Obviously,
go.
it's SVG's race to lose. However, William Byron in 2024 won the race. In 2025, he got second. Christopher Bell in 2024 got second. 2025, he won. Also, got to throw in Kyle Busch, who had speed, I believe, in both races. So what do? Race pick, William Byron. I have faith in the old Flamin' 24. Now, who is your 36 for 36 pick?
36 for 36, going Ty Gibbs. I think he's pretty decent on the road courses. I think that he's going to have a better year than he's had the last 2 years. And I don't want to waste SVG, Zilch, or Almendinger yet. So Ty Gibbs it is.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely very good at the road courses. We'll see if SVG gives him a run for his money, or if Kyle Busch, my 36 for 36, gives him a run for his money. I got faith in old KFB. He is my 36 for 36. And now,
And, well, hold on.
Topics.
Also, he had a little bit of momentum because he won the truck race.
Yes, however, I think all of his momentum ended when he nosed inside of the inside wall at EchoPark Speedway.
You can't have a perfect weekend. You gotta have something go wrong.
I believe actually he's had a couple in his career, but that's okay. Now, a couple off topics here. Before we
Wait, I had more to say.
Oh, pardon me. Go ahead.
Okay. Under 20th place right now in the standings. I wrote this down. These are all the people that were in the playoffs last year. Ready? Under 20th place. Kyle Larson. Josh Berry. Austin Cindric. Denny Hamlin. Christopher Bell. Alex Bowman. Ty Gibbs. Oh, sorry. Ty Gibbs wasn't in there. He was just an extra one that I thought was kind of crazy how low he was. And Austin Dillon. Yep.
Yeah.
All under 20th place. And then some people that are doing better than I thought. Zane Smith right now, 5th place in the points. Oh, Carson Hosfar, 4th place in the points. Daniel Suarez, 7th place. Noah Gragson, 12th. Would you have expected that and predicted that before the season started? Because I sure as hell wouldn't.
No. I would say any of the people that you listed before who are below 20th, I would not be worried if you have a good race at COTA, because you got 2 super speedways to start off the year. Everyone knows they're chaotic. Everyone knows Daytona's a crapshoot. Atlanta is wild. If you suck at COTA, though, then I'm pressing the alarm button. Remember how bad Ty Gibbs was to start last year? And then honestly, he kind of he got a little better, but it wasn't even that good. His peak was not that great anyways. Nobody wants to be that. And if you come out of COTA garbage, I'd be nervous.
Well, that's probably a good segue into our off-track news, because Ty Gibbs started doing well when Chris Gabehart got thrown on his box to help him out a bit. So why don't you take us into the off-track news?
Speaking of Chris Gabehart, the age of lawsuits is upon us. Joe Gibbs Racing is suing Chris Gabehart for estimated $8 million in damages for violating contractual obligations and using Joe Gibbs Racing information and trade secrets. Basically, they think Joe Gibbs Racing thinks that he is giving information to Spire Motorsports. Allegedly, all this, I should say, is allegedly, and most of it almost all of it is coming from Joe Gibbs Racing side because Chris Gabehart has made a statement denying everything, but nothing super concrete. Is probably saving it for the lawsuit. So everything I'm about to say is coming from a pro Joe Gibbs standpoint. Chris Gabehart asked for complete control, was denied, and then he himself asked to leave. Gabehart said he received a unsolicited offer from Spire on November 13th, and Joe Gibbs Racing found that he had synced his personal Google Drive with his JGR laptop. Fun tidbits that included that I thought were included and that I thought were interesting if they ever came to light would be the full team payroll, driver pay, sponsor revenue, and a folder called past setups with, race setups in a titled Spire folder. All the data compiled from a race from Las Vegas in 2025, estimation for fuel mileage, and JGR had a estimation for the competitors' fuel mileage. So obviously they had a lot of research done and bonus structures for successful pit stops. I look for Spire to be pretty good at Las Vegas upcoming here. And another one I thought was super interesting was Joe Gibbs Racing had a comparison between one of their drivers and one of Spire's drivers. Fascinating stuff that if it ever came to light of day, I'd be very interested to see it. But Joe Gibbs Racing, I believe, filed something to try to keep all that stuff private during the lawsuit. More fun tidbits. Chris Gabehart, salary over $1 million. Wild. Joe Gibbs Racing had forensic analysis done of Gabehart's stuff, and it came out negative, but they wanted further stuff done, seeing if information got transferred to another thing. Gabehart said no, he thinks the original forensic analysis clears him. JGR said, okay, fine, but you cannot work for anybody for some period of time. It wasn't specified the amount of time. It said, you cannot work for anybody for this amount of time, and if you do, we're going to sue you. And obviously, look where we are now, so you know what happened. Also, obviously, I got announced that he's now working for Spire Motorsports as, I believe, Chief Motorsports Officer. Joe Gibbs Racing learns Gabehart plans to take the role of Chief Motorsports Officer at Spire. Not what he told him. That's not the position that he said that they offered him. Gabehart began to ask people at Joe Gibbs Racing to join him at Spire, and I believe, according to the thing, he got one person to leave. And the Spire was offering to pay them much more, which does not surprise me because Spire Motorsports in the past has been they've been okay throwing money at people. They offered Michael McDowell a multi-year deal when Front Row Motorsports was not going to offer him. They got Travis Peterson, his crew chief, to come over. They got Rodney Childers before that fizzled out after like 2 races. They got Eddie DeHaan, a very good spotter. And then obviously recently they got Carson Hosfar on a massive deal. Don't know the specifics of the money, but he's going to be there for a while. You can imagine it's going to be good money because he's the top driver there right now. And with Spire's alliance with Hendrick, we know they're just throwing money anywhere they could possibly throw it to try to build their race team. You got to respect it that they don't really care about the dollars looking good. Like, I cannot imagine they make money. But Gabehart adamantly denies all claims, said the analysis clears him, and he even offered to have a review of the Spire systems to prove that he did not share any of the information. Whew, a lot going on there. What do you think?
So I just don't need an oxygen tank after that. You haven't taken a breath in 5 minutes. I don't know what to think. This was kind of a surprise, but at the same time, it kind of wasn't. Because I feel like everyone was like, why in the hell would Chris Gabehart ever leave Joe Gibbs Racing, one of the top teams of motorsports, especially after how long he's been there? And you would have to think that there was either good money that was offered to him, way more than he's getting at Joe Gibbs, which maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But then also you have to think maybe something happened. So again, is it a surprise? Yeah, that he left. But also, you kind of assume that something happened that would make him want to leave a place that he's been loyal to for so long. And what's interesting, though, is that he is being... Again, this is the Joe Gibbs side. Only Joe Gibbs has really released their side. Chris Gabehart has been super vague on what information he's given so far. He does say that he has information that he's going to give soon, and then it sounds like countersue. But we'll see. I would be eager to see what Chris Gabehart says, and NASCAR's back, baby. More NASCAR. I followed the 2311 Front Row Motorsports versus NASCAR and listened to the Teardown podcast every single day. I'm hoping that if this goes to court again, the Teardown provides another daily podcast, because I'd be eager to see what information is given. But yeah, NASCAR's back, baby.
Welcome back, NASCAR. Is interesting because back when it was like rumored that he was leaving, everyone's like, why would you not throw oodles upon oodles of money at the guy? Let him have complete control over everything. And evidently, Chris Gabehart thought the same thing, because he asked for complete control, according to JGR's side. And $1 million, you have to wonder, they had to have offered him, what did they, double? Triple? More money than I can even count?
So you're asking me?
I'm just asking the room here. I'm asking everyone. How much money did they offer him? Because there was no way they offered him complete control and a base salary being the exact same. It had to have been significantly more, is what I'm thinking. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
I got 2 more off topics here. Obviously, the lawsuit will be an ongoing thing. We'll broach if anything major happens, but smaller scale. Fox has announced that they're going to show ads in a double box format for all green flag racing. Heck yeah. Big fan of that. Unfortunately, a couple of the cautions during the Atlanta race, the EchoPark Speedway race, were during the double box format, not when it's live, because it does appear that the frequency of the caution or the commercials have been bumped up a slight bit. But I think this is a win for everyone. Also, I think it's honestly a win for the advertisers, because if it's a full screen commercial, you're like, I'm going to the bathroom, especially a race like Atlanta. You're like, you're not ever going to leave that TV screen if you get to see any of the action at all. So I think it's a big win for the fans.
I agree. I think that it's a big win for the fans. I think NASCAR fans like to complain. And I think that they saw similar things that you did, that when a caution came out, when a caution used to come out, that Fox or whatever station was, the race was on, they would jump immediately back from commercial. But you have to remember, it was a full screen commercial, and they'd jump back and they'd go, we're under caution here, just immediately, right? Whereas this, you can see it live. So I understand what used to be, but at the same time, you can be watching it the whole time. You can see it. It's not a shock to you that they're under caution because you watched it live. I'm 50-50 on that. I understand what they're saying, but I think let's take what we can get for now. Let's be happy that we have, half commercial, and then we're always watching the race the rest of the time. The race is always on our screen from start to finish, except maybe under the stages or other cautions. But like green flag, is always on our TV. Let's not get greedy yet. Let's complain about it, in a couple of years. Maybe a year. Let's take the year off.
Yeah, NASCAR fans, unfortunately, it's a full-time job to complain, so that's not going to happen. But the only caveat, I agree with everything you just said. However, I do think people's opinions are going to change once Fox has a Foxism, and we're seeing, we're in commercial, the commercial's playing, we see the small screen, and then all of a sudden we just cut to a car stopped in the back stretch, wrecked. No one knows how they got there, because the camera wasn't on them, because the race director was asleep at the wheel. That will cause a little bit of controversy, especially when they do not flip back to it. And we just see a destroyed race car, and we're just sitting there like, well, how did this happen? But besides that, we take our win. We always take our win. And my final off topic of the day is Brad Keselowski. Unsure of how he's going to be at COTA Joey Hand will be on standby. I predict he'll start the race and Joey Hand will get in, which will be very good for Brad Keselowski considering how awful he is at road courses. And Joey Hand, very good at road courses, was then running like top, I think, 5 in a Rick Ware racing car a couple years ago. You take you take that deal. Brad will get the points. Joey will get the race, get himself out there, and we'll see what happens there. Do you think he'll get out?
I do think he'll get out. But I know Brad is a racer. I think he wants to race, but I also think he knows that maybe this type of track might be better to get out and stay healthy. You know, you don't want to do anything to jeopardize your health, and you want to be healthy the rest of the year. And some of these tracks and some of these events, you know, he came back quick, and he came back quicker than most. And he'll even be the first one to tell you that. I told you that I thought it was a risk that he was getting in there for Daytona and Atlanta. So fine, let him start the race. Let Joey Hand get behind the wheel. He has a good backup. It's not like he has someone that isn't a good road racer jumping in. You know, he'll get the points, and he has someone that he can trust. Get on the pit box if he can get up there. I don't know if he can get up there with his leg. Pull up a lawn chair, sit down, and watch the rest of the race behind your pit box.
I agree. I think if he's running 30th, even if he's like, I feel completely fine, just get out anyways. Joey Hand will do a better job. But that's also the issue is, you know, the road courses tend to have not as many cautions. So at what point does he get in? Is the race already going to be over because there's going to be like, you know, 10 laps to go and then Joey Hand gets in? Like, now he's starting dead last. He said, all right, go past cars. But we'll see. Alrighty, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. This has been Draft and Drive. We'll see you next week after COTA. Subscribe. Bye-bye.